So outside the cabin area, there's this platform that you can walk onto. Tiny purple print and a balloon. And there's another area up here with a number 5 pad that you can only reach with Diddy's flight, but only has things for Lanky. So you use Diddy to get up and activate the pad, so you can bring Lanky over to actually grab shit up here. And if you fall off, you need to run back to the pad. Fortunately, falling off helped me see these blue coins that I missed before, so... Cool. There's still no value in coins anymore. I've got 100 coins with each Kong, and, like, we've run out of things to buy. Just about.
And coins aren't even being tracked.
Yep.
Opla.
Opla. There's also a blue balloon at the bottom of this waterfall at the end of the place. And some blue coins down there, and over at this inflaty balloon thing that lets you get up on top of here, which has an instrument pad. Oh. And there's also a trough and scoff door up here. The positions of the trough and scoff doors are kind of like pointless. I don't know what's with that. It's just here's a bunch of different places where you can enter the final boss, or the boss of the stage area. Anyway, that instrument opens another cabin, because that's what they do. This one has a steel thing on the floor, and it's got another a baboon thing, and 2 of these guys who are annoying. And it's got a switch over there with bananas on it. So you go to the switch, and you step on the switch. You don't have to ground pound this switch, you just step on it, and it makes the banana come up, but you only have 3 seconds to get there, and that's not enough time. So you gotta use the balloon to get up to the sprint barrel. I killed this guy, because he was vulnerable. So let's do that thing with the sprint. You float up, and it's 3D. It's not in the position that it looks like it's in because the camera's bad.
Nobody has shadows.
Oh, they have shadows. It's just lights are goddamn everywhere. You know, the lights are not in positions that make sense. Also, you can't actually see them in this room.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, they're pulsing and fucking everywhere, so, shadows don't help you with anything. Anyway, back over by that ice castle, there were some things that I forgot to get. Like...
The yellow print.
Like this guy. And there was a rock. And, I was really annoyed that I forgot to get this while I was here. Because you go here and you put the rock on the switch that has a rock on it. Because that's the only way to put the switch, is to put the rock on it. And I was making sure I lined it up. And when you put the rock there, it makes this explode.
And it's got a rotating rock switch.
Yeah, so, and while you are in that cutscene, the stalactites are still spawning.
Ah.
But they're not dropping. Here's some random coins. So over here, you get chunky big. And you pick up that big rock, and you put it on the big switch that's moving around.
Chunky.
Chunky. And you have it on the switch, and that makes this one explode.
Why?
So then you go over there, which was by that igloo, and there I noticed that there was some red bananas above it, and there's a tiny monkey port pad that was not visible in the cutscene because of draw distances. So you get all
it's time to backtrack.
Green stuff, and this after you do all of the switches with the rocks, this is where the big guy is.
And you can only get here with
You
time.
can only get here with the monkey port, because this is in a cave that is off on its own place. This is not actually, like, in the area where the fucking, the actual stage is. This is its own separate cave area that you can only access with the monkey port.
Great.
So I finally killed that guy, so we're done with the stalactite falling. Now that I've completed almost the entire stage.
It's a good thing that you knew how things would happen in an order.
Yeah!
So that you could know how to do that ahead of time. This is gonna take forever.
I got to not have stalactites while I grabbed the last 5 bananas, and then made it to a trough and stop door to feed them 350 bananas. I would like to remind everyone that you cannot at any point skip this cutscene thing of throwing the bananas into their mouth or the door opening. Anyway, here's a second boss fight for Donkey Kong. Because this is the 6th world, everybody's had a boss fight. And we've got some critters, and they've got stuff that they're carrying and building and hammering with their fists. It's funny because they're bashing on it with their fists, and oh look, it's the first boss. So, here's the first boss again. Just like, you know, the last world had a repeat boss.
Yeah. Same thing, but slightly different.
Yep. Which is to say that his pattern gets longer. So, you know, the fight is just more tedious. So, as with the first time, he does his shooty at you and then he rolls at you, but now he has the jet rockets as well. So he does a jet rocket thing to go up, and then when he drops, it's a shockwave. And you have to jump over the shockwave.
Then he rolls.
And he just roll around, and then he shoots some more. And that's the pattern. And again, you wait for him to finish shooting so you can throw the dynamite at his face when he comes out to laugh. But make sure you actually hit, like, the tip of his nose, because that's the spot that's actually vulnerable. If you just hit his face, then he'll go back to shooting. He's only vulnerable for a couple seconds. This is boss fight design.
Something.
Yeah. We've complained before about this style of boss fight, where it is wait around until the boss is vulnerable, and then make sure that you hit the boss while he's vulnerable, and if you don't, then you have to wait around some more. And while you're waiting around, you gotta be dodging stuff, because you'll take damage, and if you die, you start over from the beginning.
The penalty for failure is time.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really like... All video games are gonna be like that, but this is just takes it to an extreme, where you are spending time doing nothing. And if you screw up slightly, then you're spending even more time doing nothing. It's like, even just dodging the shit that this guy does, it's not, like, hard. Dodging the bullets, you just keep moving. Dodging the roll, you just keep moving. Dodging the shockwave, okay, you need to figure out that you do a jump when, like, the ground is raised up before the damaging part of the shockwave happens. Like here, as soon as the ground is raised up, I do the jump, and that's it. This is not, like, tricky or interesting timing to do. You just... out how to jump it or you didn't? And you need to go and... Oh, now, instead of the fire shot, he's got a big missile launcher and it's comically pointed out. It's some kind of mortar cannon. Now, instead of coming from directly from it, they fall from the ceiling. You still dodge them just by moving. And now it's a big missile with eyes. I just let it hit me. And then I finish it. And that's the boss fight. And the whole shell explodes. And then he just vanishes. Pops into a key. I kind of thought that, like, at some point during this fight, the door would open up and maybe, like, those, the critters that were repairing him would come out and do something, but no. That would be interesting. Anyway, that's the Crystal Caves. Let's fuck out of here. And let's finish this up, because now we can do this. Back in Fungi Forest, let's race the fucking rabbit. I fucking hate this race. Because, now, here's the thing. As you will see in a moment, it's not just you do the race a second time, but this time you have to use the move. You know how normally, when you have to do your moves for minigames, they give you infinite crystal coconuts? They don't give you infinite crystal coconuts for this race, where you need to use your move that costs crystal coconuts. So, when, not if, when, you fail this race at least once, because the camera does not cooperate, and there's enemies in the way, and it's just fucking... it's annoying as hell. You have to leave and run around and collect crystal coconuts so you can attempt the race again. Because there's no convenient way to refill on crystal coconuts in this game.
No, of course.
You know, ammo you could fill up on just by seeing Funky. Instruments you could fill up on by just seeing Candy. There's no one that you can just go and talk to refill crystal coconuts.
Yeah, because...
like, it's possible that if you go out to the main map and see the banana fairy, she'll do that? I don't know, I never bothered. But, anyway, yeah, I failed this a lot. And, this took me like a good half hour between all of the run around and grab crystal coconuts. This is what I had to do every single time I failed that race. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even have anything to say.
Yeah. One mean monkey mover. And finally, he gives us the fucking banana. And that's it. We're done with Fungi Forest, finally. Actually. And in the lobby, while I was leaving, I remembered, oh yeah, there was the invisible pad with Chunky. It makes this appear.
Why?
Because when you become invisible, you see things that were invisible. Except they weren't just invisible, they literally didn't exist. So, I don't know. Here's another battle in the place. That was bullshit.
Yeah.
One thing that I at least got to see while I was here is that if you just, like, attack the skeleton things with a normal attack rather than, like, a running attack, because the running attack just kills them in one shot, but if you punch them with normal, which is weaker, then they just lose their heads.